Yeah, I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah.
There's not a ton of traffic in between Utah and Nevada, especially like in the middle of the week at night when you're driving to Las Vegas. On a Friday night, it's pretty packed because everybody's leaving Utah to go party. But like on a Wednesday, you're pretty alone. So I think I was seeing a car maybe like 1-2 minutes, but it wasn't very frequent at all. And I'm not gonna lie, I was speeding. I'm not saying that speeding is okay. I'm not advocating for it. You guys just have to know how fast I was going in order for this UFO thing to be crazier. So the speed limit was 80. I think I was going 103 when I really started paying attention. And like I said, I'm speeding. Don't speed that much. That is not good. But I'm being honest. And the reason that I'm being honest is because I see these headlights behind me and they are gaining on me like fast, you know? And when I say fast, I mean like they are catching up to me, and I'm not going slow.
Oh,
it's not like
no.
I'm going 65 and there's a
one on the
Rari
wall,
going
man.
120 flying by me, you know?
I'm
already
so
going over
scared.
100 miles per hour, and this thing is coming at me at the same speed like you expect a Predator missile in Call of Duty to be flying towards the ground. This thing is moving, and as it gets closer, I'm expecting to, you know, like see a car or something. And sure enough, as it gets closer, I realize that, like, it's not even a car. I don't know what it is. I guess that's why they call it a UFO, an unidentified flying object. But I'm not kidding you. It's like two lights about headlight distance apart, flying towards me at least 200 miles an hour. Like, when I say this thing is catching up with me, it's catching up with me fast. In the amount of time it pops up, like, in my rear view mirror to the time it's over my car, I don't remember it exactly, and like I was a little freaked out, so my memory of time might not be great, but I'm gonna say like maybe 5 seconds. So it covers 2 miles of ground like that. And as it's getting closer, I realize that like there's nothing, there's no truck, there's not a car, there's nothing. It's like there's just 2 lights, which is weird because they're super low to the ground. Like I thought they were headlights. They looked like headlights from a truck. Like yeah, they were kind of lifted off the ground, but they were 100% definitely, like absolutely at headlight level. Like I'm not delusional. I know when something is in the air, and these things looked at headlight level. So as it's getting close to me, I realize that it's not a car, and just as quickly as it caught up on me, the lights go over the top of my car in my lane. They don't change lanes, nothing. It flies over the top of me, and I don't hear anything. I just see these lights flying towards me go over the top.
Kind of whack.
And I'm like, well, if this is a plane flying that low, first of all, there's a problem. Second of all, this thing would be loud, right? Like, it flew over the top of my car, so my first thought is, I'm in the middle of nowhere, rural Utah, so maybe it was like a crop duster or a plane or something. But, like, I would have heard something. I would have heard a propeller. I would have heard a jet of some kind. If a plane's ever flown over your
Varian kid needs to go fuck himself.
You can hear it. It's not like it doesn't exist. So I'm freaked out at this point. All I know is that lights just caught up with me in 2 seconds when I'm going 100 miles per hour, flew over the top of my car, and made no noise. And to make matters worse, obviously I'm like tracking it in my rear view mirror as it goes over the top of me, but I kind of like follow it into my rear view mirror and like look out my windshield to see anything go over the top of me, and I kid you not, the lights go over the top of my car, I don't hear anything, and I see nothing. I don't see a fleck of light. I don't see anything. It's like these lights just flew over the top of my car and disappeared. And I'm not crazy.
Right? We really do be getting bamboozled by aliens out here.
I didn't see anything. I legit did not see anything fly over or past my car. I just saw these lights fly over the top of me and keep going with absolutely no sound. So I'm scared at this point because anytime you have something like that happen, dude, I immediately started thinking of all the stories of people who were like, aliens abducted me for 6 months and altered my memory. And I'm like, dog, I'm really not trying to get abducted. Like, seeing a UFO is crazy enough, but I'm not trying to get abducted. And I really had to pee when this UFO had gone over me, dude. And I didn't pull over for the rest of the car ride. I actually ended up peeing in the McDonald's cup that I had while driving because I was so terrified.
That's some skills.
Because of the UFO. And, you know, before anyone calls me delusional or whatever or crazy, I grew up in Las Vegas, you know, close to Area 51. I had never seen a UFO before. Like, it's not like I have a billion UFO stories, and I'm not even convinced it was an alien. Like, I don't don't know what it could have been. I have no idea. All I know is that anything that was like man-made that I know of. I don't know what the government's got locked up. You know, I don't know if Master Chief in Halo is based on a real story and he's just like waking up out of cryo freeze. I don't know what the government's got hidden, but nothing that I know can move that fast, that low, and not make any noise whatsoever. And you know, before anyone's like, you'd be surprised how quiet jets can be. I've got family members in the military who have worked on aircraft carriers and launched jets, and I've told them this story, and they tell me I would have heard something too. So to this day, I genuinely have absolutely no idea what I saw that day. I have no idea whatsoever. The only thing that does like ease my mind, I guess, is that it is the middle of the desert. You know, it's a very sparsely populated area, so if there was any place to test new military technology, I wouldn't be surprised if it's there. But what definitely does not make me feel better, okay? And I didn't really know this stuff when I got home that day, but Utah actually has, for whatever reason, like a crap ton more UFO sightings than every other state. They don't know why, they don't know, and this started like back in the 50s. So for whatever reason, I guess Utah's got an alien problem, and I guess I'm a part of that. I mean, I guess I could have been across the Nevada border. I don't know. I was in Utah or Nevada, and whatever flew over the top out of me scared me so bad that I pissed in a McDonald's cup, so you know it was legit. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I really would appreciate you pressing the like button. And I actually have a question for the comment today. You know, I don't ask these a lot, so please answer. Do you guys believe in aliens, and have you ever seen a UFO? Or like, am I crazy and you guys are unsubscribing after this? No pressure. I honestly am just curious. But like I said, on that note, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications. I post videos like this every single day, and you're not gonna want to miss them. Thank you so much for all the support. Get yourself some of the OG Sub Club merch. Use code Scrubby at the G Fuel checkout, and check out the intro song. Whatever. But if you do, you know, that would be very convenient. Thank you very much. And yeah, on that note, guys, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. Follow me on Twitter at Scrubby_69, Instagram at Scrubby, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. I'm out. Peace. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am. And if you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam whatsoever. You will be given an unplugged controller every time you try to play video games with your friends, and they will say, "Oh man, you're doing great," like you're their little brother, and just condescend you the whole time. So I would press the like button unless that's something that you really feel like experiencing. Anyways, guys, today is like a little update, I guess, on the parents situation. Some of my new neighbors found out about my channel. They're not being crazy, like, don't worry, no one's breaking into my house. Or should I say, sorry to disappoint. You guys are mean, dude. You're like, yo, remember when that neighbor made him super uncomfortable where he lives? That should happen again. My new neighbors are being cool about it. That being said, there is a little bit of that I gotta tell you guys about when my neighbors found out about the new channel. Or, not the new channel, but, like, found out about my channel. And, considering they might watch it, that's pretty awkward. So if you could press the like button for me being willing to do this, I'd appreciate it. And, without further ado, let's get in.
Are you searching a Little Caesars thin crust? Roll toppings really go right to the edge? Put us out of business? We still offer pickup all at 4?
We're not Big Pizza, we're Little Caesars. The extra most best is thin crust, just $6.49.
Pizza.
Do it.
Baby girl, just let me vibe. I'm just trying to make you mine. Yeah, they want me kids tonight, but you my girl, for them I'm blind.
So, for those of you who don't know, I moved a couple months back. Like, these last couple months have just been super busy. I know my uploads haven't been the best, you know, but, like, I've just been super busy. I got stuff going on. So, for those of you that don't know, I moved. And, my schedule is a little bit different than most people, especially with the quarantine stuff going on. I work from home anyways, so, like, I didn't really meet any of my neighbors in my new house very quickly. Not like, in days, everybody's, like, walking around introducing themselves to each other and shaking hands all the time. So, I'm in my new house. Everything's been going good, and I haven't met my neighbors. I've been here for maybe a month. I did have the one lady on, like, the dog trail, but I don't even necessarily consider her my neighbor, considering she doesn't, like, live next door to me. She just lives somewhere in the neighborhood. But I hadn't met my neighbors yet, like my next door neighbor, or the person behind me, or the person in front of me. Like, I hadn't met anyone yet. But whatever, you know, I kind of mind my own business. It's not like I'm an annoying neighbor to have. I don't like to throw parties, bro, because they're just stressful, and, like, having that many people at your house is not fun. And on top of that, like, I really do just love to play video games and make videos all day. Like, I'm really not a noisy neighbor, and I would admit it if I was, straight up. But, you know, especially during the pandemic, it's not like there's anything that me or anybody else who lives here does that's loud. It's like, you know, I'm not trying to get y'all too hyped, but there is currently a YouTube house being put together. There's a couple people already here. It's a work in progress. But me and the people who live here, for the most part, mind our business. And, it is my house on paper, like legally it's mine, you know. So whenever anybody like knocks on the door and needs anything, I'm the one who answers the door and does it because it's my house. Like that should be pretty obvious, right? So regardless, one day we're just kind of chilling, sitting on the couch. We were waiting for a couple videos to render. I think we were watching YouTube or something. Like this is right when the Leafy Pokimane stuff came out, so I think we were watching that video. And there's a knock on the door, and usually it's just like an Amazon package or something. So I go to answer the door, and you know, I open it expecting there to be a package there. And when I open the door, there's this like middle-aged man with glasses just kind of looking at me. And he like looks at me and like looks in the house. And keep in mind, you know, there's been people moving in through time, you know. There's been some personal stuff going on. So like there's some boxes on the ground, some Amazon boxes. A certain YouTuber has just moved in, so like their setup, all the boxes their setup is in is like on the ground. It looks kind of messy. Like a bunch of boxes are on the ground. But regardless, considering you just saw like, you know, somebody moving into this house a month ago, you would assume that somebody would be smart enough to put 2 and 2 together and go, oh, these boxes are on the ground because they're just slow at moving. So the boxes are behind me, and this guy looks at me and looks at the boxes and looks back at me and folds his arm and goes, I just want you to know that we know that you're squatting here, or something like that. And I look at him and I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? So squatters, for those of you who don't know, are like people who go into a house that's for sale when nobody's living there, and they squat in it and, you know, just live in this empty house when nobody's there. And it's considered like basically stealing from the people who own the house because you're living there without paying rent. It's bad. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not squatting. Trust me, you know, I pay my bills. The Karens make sure that I stay fed around here. You guys do. I'm not squatting here. So I laugh and I'm like, oh, I'm not squatting. And like, I should have probably been offended that this guy just assumed that I had broken into this house and was just like living here with no water for fun. And he's like, oh, really? Then why are all the boxes behind me? And at this point, I'm realizing he was joking. Like, unironically, I thought that he had come over here and was just like making a joke about squatters because, I mean, there's cars in the driveway and like, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen this guy in particular, but every morning I like to just go skate around to like wake up and start the day. So I've waved at everybody that I've seen. I haven't met any of my other neighbors, but like I haven't had problems with anybody. I've already had to have like signatures from my neighbors for something regarding my HOA, and everybody signed it with no problem. I didn't meet them to do it, like somebody went and got the signatures for me, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I haven't had a problem with anybody yet, so I thought he's joking. And when he folds his arm and is like, well, then what's with the boxes? I'm like, oh my god, this dude legit thinks I'm squatting here. So I laugh and I'm like, dude, nah, like, I own the house, it's okay, like, we're not squatters, trust me. And this guy's like, well, can you prove that you own the house? Which I know a lot of you who are, I guess, nicer are like, well, that's not an unreasonable question. He just wants to see proof that you own the house. But nah, who the hell does this goofy-looking dude think he is walking up to my house and asking for me to provide proof that I own it? Like, who are you, Peter from Deadpool 2, dude? Go land in a freaking wood chipper. Don't come around here and try to tell me that I have to prove that I own my house to you. I don't owe you nothing. You think I'm squatting? Go ahead and call the cops, you know, and like, go ahead. They can come here and I'll show the police that I own the house, but nah, I'm not showing some random dude knocking on my door that I own the house. So I get that defensive. I'm looking at him like, no, you're not gonna boss me around and make me show you proof that I own this house. Get out of here. Like, nah, I'm a little mean, I'm not gonna lie, because you gotta remember, after the Karen situation, my tolerance for bad neighbors is basically zero. Like, for people that have watched the entire Karen saga from the beginning,
yeah,
I was so patient and tried to be as understanding as possible. So the second this dude starts doing that, like, you better show me. Like, nah, I'm a grown man. I don't have to show you anything, and you being on my property is hilarious, so get off of it. Like, I was mean, I'm not gonna lie. And as soon as the guy sees me, like, getting pissed off and mad, he immediately just like starts apologizing. He's like, I'm so sorry, you just look so young, you know, like, I didn't expect you to be able to have a house. I'm so sorry. Me and my wife have just been wondering what's going on, and you know, we've been seeing more and more people showing up, so we just assumed that like word had gotten out, and I'm looking at this dude and I'm like, yo, I don't really care what you and your wife are talking about. Don't come to my house and ask me to provide proof that I own it. Do you understand? Like, I don't care, bro. You and your wife should mind your own damn business, first of all. It's none of your business if somebody's squatting in your neighbor's house. I mean, it kind of is. But, like, having the balls to come up and demand that I show you proof that I own my house is ballsy, dude. So at this point, the dude is just sitting there stuttering like an idiot because I think he realizes that, like, he just made himself look like a moron for his new neighbor. And, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I already have enough problems, like, whenever I own a house or anything, or whenever I'm trying to do anything where people don't take me seriously, because, like, I'm a 21-year-old kid. Not that being 21 years old is a kid, you know what I mean? But, like, people just don't take me seriously enough. So it already pisses me off when, like, adults just assume that I'm a loser because I'm a kid. Like, that's already annoying. For this dude to assume that me and all my friends are, like, homeless, squatting in this house, you know, and that we owe him anything is annoying. So he's sitting there stuttering, realizing that he made himself look like an idiot. And I'm like, today! And I slam the door in his face. You know what I mean?
That's kind of an asshole move,
I'm not gonna
Ryan,
respect
but...
him. So, I look at the people, and I see him, like, slink away, you know, slowly, and just kind of go back to his house, and I see him turn to the right. So I don't know if he's my neighbor to the right or a couple houses down to the right. All I know is that he's somewhere to the right. And so a couple hours
Kind of
passed.
asshole there, Ryan.
I completely forgot about it at that point. Like, yeah, it was annoying when it happened, but, like, whatever. It happens. I'm not that pressed about it, dude. 2 hours go by, and there's a knock on the door, and it's a little bit later in the day, like too late for packages. So we do have like security cameras going on, so we check the doorbell camera just to see who it is, and it's the guy from earlier, and what I think is his wife standing next to him, and his wife looks pissed. Like, you ever just see the look in a woman's eyes, and you know that whatever this guy did, bro, his wife is mad at him for it, man. Even if it doesn't make sense, you could feel the anger in her eyes, and she's standing there looking pissed. So I'm assuming that I'm about to get complained at, you know? Like, I'm guessing that I'm gonna be, you know, who do you think you are to be rude to my husband? Like, do you think it's neighborly to slam doors in the face? That's what I'm expecting to happen when I open this door, right? So, like, I'm getting worked up, you know, I'm going to the door, I'm arguing in my head, I'm like, man, if they say this, I'm gonna say this, like, you know how it is, like, hyping yourself up in your head for this argument. And I open the door and I go, yes, you know, kind of aggressively. And the wife immediately starts smiling and is like, hi, I just wanted to introduce myself, you know, where for the purpose of the story, I'm gonna name them like Tom and Mark, or no, Tom and Sally. Tom and Sally, we live to your right, you know, and we just really wanted to introduce ourselves, and I personally just wanted to take a second and apologize for my husband earlier, you know, like, I understand what happened, and I just want to say that I am so sorry. I had no idea that he was gonna come over here and do all that, and he's just standing there looking like a puppy with his tail between his legs, bro, like, and the wife is like, you know, obviously, welcome to the neighborhood. We have had no problems, no noise complaints. I am seriously so sorry about the fact that, like, my husband would come over here and accuse you of these things, and if there's anything we can do, I'm seriously so sorry. And at this point, I'm just laughing because I'm like, oh my god, this is hilarious. So she's like, oh my god, I'm so glad you're not mad. I'm like, nah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. Like, I get it. You know, it's annoying. You probably should stop judging people. So I'm more relieved than anything, dude, because I really thought I was about to have the 1v1 with some angry woman and her husband, dude, and that just does not sound like a good use of my day. So I'm laughing, and I start telling them the story about my old neighbor, Karen, you know? And they're like, well, what do you do for a living? Because we don't see you going anywhere, and you guys are, like, really young. So I tell them, I'm like, oh, I'm a YouTuber, because I don't know, like, I really don't know what to tell people when they ask me what I do, because, like, it's one of two things. People either go, like, oh my god, that's so cool, and ask a million questions, which is fun, you know, or they're like, you can get paid for that? That's not a real job, and, like, I don't know, this dude already seems like boomer enough to come over to the house and be like, oh, are you a squatter? So, I'm not exactly one of
Okay, boomer, you know, like, what did you say? Boomer!
So,
gotta hit that dub skis, bro.
Just because this
Gotta
is
hit that
the one that I
diss.
think is like the least likely to cause problems. You know, I'll get a little edgy on the other ones sometimes. I mean, they're gonna find it now if they watch this. If
As
they
squad.
watch this, of course. But like, you know, I tell them about the channel, and sure enough, dude, the husband I think says just I'm sorry like 40 times while he's standing there, and he does seem sorry. Like, Obviously, we make mistakes, you know. I'm gonna say, like, the fact that he thought that we were squatters is rude, but I'm not gonna hold a grudge against this dude, especially.
Yeah, what's up with this asshole? Can he lose already?
If you're willing
Fuckface.
to apologize, I'm willing to forgive you. That being said, the reason I'm making this video, if you're watching this, is because it's hilarious and it's gonna get a lot of views. But we're good. Like, I genuinely am not mad at my neighbors at all. So, like, he's apologizing and all this stuff, dude, and his wife is embarrassed, and she's kind of like yelling at him in front of me, which is honestly awkward. She's like, how can you believe that this kid was a criminal? Like, he's so, you know, well-spoken, which I will take as a compliment. Talking is literally my job, so, like, you know, I try my best to sound pretty when I'm speaking. But whatever. She was super nice, dude. Like, I really was expecting a Karen, but I guess all that Karen energy just went straight to her husband for, like, embarrassing her in front of the new neighbor. She was super nice. I didn't end up meeting their kids because that's weird. I don't really care that much. The kids live next door to Super Buck. I really don't know if they watch my videos or not. If you do, that's cool. Please don't tell any of your friends where I live because that would really suck. But to make everything even better, dude, the next day at like 11, we get a knock on the door. Tell me why these people sent an edible arrangements to the house saying sorry and like, oh my gosh, the lady is so nice. Like, the girl is obviously super nice. And I'm not saying that they sent me an edible arrangements to, like, make fun of them. It was a really nice gesture, but, like, it's just a house of, you know, 18 to, like, 22-year-old boys. And they're like, I know what they love. Fruit arrangements. It was just funny. It was really nice. They left a super sweet note. Like I said, absolutely no beef with my neighbors. Like, I don't hate them. They seem nice now. But, yeah, dude, you made a really bad first impression. Like, that was just really, really not a good way to introduce yourself. I know you feel clownish if you're watching this, but man, you might want to go to some classes for some, like, you know, how to talk to people skills. You probably get a fat promotion, because if that's how you've been negotiating, you need some work. But, yeah, on that note, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought. Subscribe, turn on notifications if you're new, all that good stuff, and be sure to get yourself some of the OG Sub Club merch and use code Scrubby at the G Fuel checkout. If you like the intro song, a link will be down below if you want to check it out. If not, you know, totally up to you. I don't really care one way or the other. But, yeah. On that note, follow me on Twitter at Scrubby_69, Instagram at Scrubby. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully
Oh, great. That's a lot of Death Riders.
I'm out. Peace.
Simple tax returns only. Snap your W-2 and file Fed and state for free. Guaranteed.
Keeping up with dust?
Yeah, this is a GG.
It's so easy. Swiffer Dusters.
This is a GG, dog.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having
Say goodbye to the knife that you sharpened.